Just wanted to put this one as well, who's 13, who's asked a similar question. Lots of young people writing into us who are deeply concerned and have been all this time about when she's coming home, what's happened to her, asking their parents all the time, you know, are we going to get any more news about Maddie? You know that yourself. And Ellie says, if the twins do ask you where Maddie is, or if they will ask you where Maddie is, what will you tell them? What form of words will you have?
Just say we don't know. We don't know, but we're looking for her. That's all we can say.
They know that what people are generally saying, that she's lost and missing, and that we're looking for her. The fact that so many kids know about Madeleine is important to us, actually, because certainly in the States, with information going out in posters, it may be a child who recognises Madeleine, and they may see them through different ways, change of hair, different things like that. So, you know, that piece of information could well come from a child as well.
And kids are amazing. I mean, I've had like a 3-year-old say to his mummy, "Mummy, there's Madeleine's mummy." And then I've had another little child come up and point to Emily and say, "Mummy, there's Madeleine." You know, so children actually are very, you know, perceptive.
It makes them very worried as well. That's the other thing, although the campaign is really valuable in terms of getting more information. Carolyn sends us an email saying that a lot of children are asking whether they're going to be abducted in the night, and where the parents are going to be. Are their parents going to protect them? And so in a way, sometimes this is causing even more concern for children, and how valuable it is. But can you see that difficulty with parents who are constantly having to reassure their children that they won't get snatched in the night?
I mean, I think every parent knows their own child and knows what their child is able to take on board, really. And I think most parents find that if they're honest with their children and reassuring and
I mean, that situation there is very much, it's terrible that we have to think like this, and clearly where we were at the time in the environment, it was the furthest thing from our mind, and it's clearly brought this home. These crimes happen, they're commoner than we think. A lot of crimes are unreported, maybe possibly even underreported in terms of official recording, but clearly underreported in the media, and it is terrible. But it's a real life thing, these crimes, and they're horrific. It's a crime, and there is an abductor out there, and they may strike again. I'm not saying that everyone should think about that. Clearly, if you are in a locked apartment, your house, there's people there, the chances are very slim, and this is so rare.
Can I ask you a question about the police inquiry in Portugal, and just clear up one or two things? And so, have you been asked to go back and take part in a reconstruction, and under what circumstances would you go back?
There is a dialogue, and that's been reported. Clearly, there's a date out there, and it's under discussion, and no final decision has been made. I have to say that the prospect of going back with the world's media trying to watch a reconstruction doesn't appeal us, and how emotional it is for us to consider that. I think also the other issue is how much more information will that get us 1 year on? You know, we have told everything to the police.
We'll do anything if we believe it will help to find Madeleine, but that's the issue, really.
And, you know, our friends have voluntarily taken part in recent interviews in Leicestershire. They've given all the information, they've had lots of opportunity, and, you know, our friends stayed in Portugal for 10 days after Madeleine was taken.
How much, what do you think the public is thinking when it comes to this case? I only ask because in the documentary last night you had those boxes, didn't you, where you had letters, supportive letters, very unsupportive letters, really quite nasty letters as well. Can you understand why people are so, I don't know, feel so angry about this and the fact that Madeleine went missing and where you were on the night?
I mean, to be honest, a lot of the nasty ones aren't about that. We do get letters like that, but some of the nasty ones are almost nasty for nasty's sake, and I think that's been incredibly shocking because, you know, we're not like that, and we don't know people that are like that, and it's quite, I suppose it's quite scary and a bit of an eye-opener, really, that people can be filled with so much venom. And whatever we do, they'll write and criticise.
Yeah, it is the way of the world. Anybody in the public eye is going to get that.
The bottom line, though, is Madeleine is a 4-year-old girl who's a victim. She's completely innocent. Irrespective, we are doing our best to find her and to get information to help us find her. And this is an international problem. It's an international inquiry, and we want people to come forward whether or not they have done previously.
Okay, just to balance things up a little bit, because we have asked you some challenging questions. We have had supportive emails from people. Somebody saying, sums it up really, I'd like to express my support for you both. I admire the way you've coped with the publicity, both good and bad, like the true professionals you are. Others texting and say that their prayers are with you on a daily basis.
Thank you.
It's really good.
Well, good luck. Thank you very much for coming in. And you know, if anybody does have information, I know there's a new number that they can get in contact with the police. So we're going to put that contact number, if we can, now at the bottom of the screen. There we go. 0845 838 4699. 0845 838 4699. And as Gerry was saying, you know, it may have been a year on, but somebody might know something, and however small it is, call that number and tell the police about it.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Time now to get the local news where you are. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.